How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Donald Trump's reaction to the CIA's findings that Jamal Khashoggi was killed by order of Mohammed bin Salman, who is the crown prince of Saudi Arabia and that nation's de facto leader. Trump basically said, look, I understand Jamal Khashoggi was a journalist. He worked in the USA. He was a liberal person that Saudi Arabia did not like because of how critical they were. But just because they allegedly killed him does not mean we should throw Saudi Arabia away. They're a very important ally. They help us in the war on terror in the Middle East, and we have bigger fish to fry over there, including Iran. That triggered a lot of people. The news media, of course, they don't like that. Your CNN, MSNBC, they don't like that. Some Republican senators don't like that. Your Bob Corkers, your Mitt Romneys, your Rand Pauls, Lindsey Graham, etc. They didn't like it. It has caused a debate over this whole issue. Should we just turn a blind eye to journalists being killed by regimes because of their critical nature of their nation? Or should we impose sanctions and get into a war? Because that's what it's going to be at the end of the day, one way or another, whether it be a war with tanks and guns and drones or a financial war or both. But before I go any further, let's roll a clip from Donald Trump talking about this. He put out a statement relating to this whole situation before this video, and I'll place that in the box below if you want to read it. But this video sums up my opinion about this in a very succinct way. I support this move because I did not want Trump to be an interventionist when I voted for him. But before we go down that road, check out this clip. After we get done, I'll talk about that clip. I'll talk about why this is important, why I'm doing a video about it today, and what the implications for this are going to be in the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
It's a very simple equation for me. I'm about make America great again, and I'm about America first.
Mr. President, are you basically telling us, Mr. President, that human rights are too expensive?
That what?
That human rights are too expensive.
No, I'm not saying that at all. If you look at Iran, just take a look at Iran, and you look at what they're doing. They are a terrorist nation right now. Although I must tell you, they're a lot better right now than they were when I took office. When I took office, they were heading in a very, very bad direction. And at some point, things very positive, frankly, could happen with Iran, but we also need a counterbalance. And Israel needs help also. If we abandon Saudi Arabia, it would be a terrible mistake. I don't make deals with Saudi Arabia. I don't have money from Saudi Arabia. I have nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I couldn't care less. And I will tell you, and as most of you know, being president has cost me a fortune, and that's okay with me. I knew that a long time ago. They're buying hundreds of billions of dollars worth of things from this country. If I say we don't want to take your business, if I say we're going to cut it off, they will get the equipment, military equipment and other things from Russia and China. Russia and China would be very, very happy because right now we're doing very well against China. We're doing very well against everybody, including Russia, and I'm going to keep it that way. And I'm not going to tell a country that's spending hundreds of billions of dollars and has helped me do one thing very importantly, keep oil prices down so that they're not going to $100 and $150 a barrel. Right now, we have oil prices in great shape. I'm not going to destroy the world economy, and I'm not going to destroy the economy for our country by being foolish with Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so you saw that. You see what's going on there. Now, he said everything that I was thinking right there from the beginning. And matter of fact, I was thinking like this before I even voted for the guy, before the whole Khashoggi thing happened. Okay? Look, I understand that certain countries may do things that I don't like, but that does not mean that the USA should be the police of the world. Okay? And it's funny how a lot of people that call themselves conservative were against Donald Trump when he bombed Syria and nobody got hurt. It was like some kind of airstrip or something. And before we sent the bomb, we gave them a warning to say, hey, evacuate all your people. Nobody be there. We're going to bomb that area right now. Nobody was hurt. And in this case, they're saying because a journalist was killed allegedly by the Saudi regime, you want to go in there and do what to Saudi? You want to impose sanctions? I mean, if you're against a bombing where nobody got hurt, which is a form of intervention, then why would you be for intervention financially? It's kind of like the same thing. You're poking your nose in a place where it really shouldn't be. And let's not forget, we have military bases in Saudi Arabia. They help us in the war on terror. Regardless of what you think about the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, or the Saudis, it does not make any sense to impose sanctions. The biggest thing that Trump was talking about here, in my opinion, was the gas. Okay. Now, the counter to that I always hear is that, well, America, we produce our own oil. We don't need Saudi Arabia. You don't quite understand the way this works. Okay. Saudi Arabia is one of the top oil producing nations in the whole world. You're talking about number 2, number 3, maybe number 1. Okay. And up there with Saudi is the USA and Russia. Okay. So Trump is doing the right things here. You're trying to be friendly with Russia and friendly with Saudi Arabia. At the end of the day, every nation on earth has their imperfections, but who do you want to align yourself with? Those who have the very essential things that you need to conduct your everyday life, like oil. You got to have that. What if Saudi say, all right, USA, you're going to impose sanctions on us, but guess what? We're going to just cut back the production of oil barrels. That's going to cause the cost of oil per barrel to skyrocket. It's going to wreck the whole world, including the USA. So because one person was killed allegedly by the Saudi regime, does that mean we're going to just wreck ourselves? That's literally cutting your nose to spite your face. It doesn't make any sense. Furthermore, Saudi Arabia has already punished a lot of these people that were involved with the alleged killing. I think it's like 18 people who are facing the death penalty right now. And the USA has imposed travel bans on the people that were alleged to be involved with the incident. So if Saudi Arabia is punishing those who were involved with the incident and we're punishing those who are involved with the incident, what more needs to be done? You want to impose sanctions on the whole country? That's a bad move because they're going to retaliate and it's going to hurt us much more than it will hurt them. And here's one more thing about that. There are other nations in the world that do things like this all the time. Eritrea and other African nations. China does this with a journalist. Didn't they have this actress? I forget her name, but she was in some type of gulag for a while over taxes. Allegedly. I don't know if she was in the gulag or what, but she was missing for a while. And then when she resurfaced, it was like, oh, okay, I'm going to pay my taxes now. Like, where were you at this whole time? Like, imagine if you had somebody like, I don't know, Will Smith just vanished for like a month because of tax evasion, or he vanished while a whole tax evasion case was going on, and then he comes back talking about, I'll pay my taxes now. You're not going to wonder what happened. You're not going to wonder if the government had anything to do with that. We don't really care about foreign interventionism until it's politically expedient. That's pretty much how that is. Because the left, they're saying that, oh, Trump has business ties with Saudi Arabia, has a golf course over there, this, that, and the third, so he doesn't want to do anything. He wants to be soft on the issue. He's doing the right thing. I'm not for foreign intervention. Quite frankly, we could do much more of this type of thing that Trump did here. Let's back out of all these wars. And I respect what Trump is doing. Like, we're already in Syria, in Afghanistan, places like that. We were already there when Trump came into office. That's more difficult to pull out than it would be to not start something. Especially with Saudi Arabia, that's just a foolish endeavor to even get involved with. So good on Trump for not getting involved. I wouldn't get involved either. That's not my business. And the USA has no real moral finger to point in this whole situation because we do things that are similar to this, not the exact same, but similar. We have citizens that we kill over things that they shouldn't be killed over. We got folks in jail that probably shouldn't be in jail. We're not the world police. Let them handle that. That was not a U.S. citizen that was allegedly killed. And if it was a U.S. citizen, that's a whole different story. Because now you're talking about people imposing acts of terror on us. Now, I know the whole thing about 9/11 and all this. Look, who actually was behind that? Who actually executed it? We'll probably never know. I'm hearing all kind of conspiracy theories talking about, oh, you know, people over here did it, people over there did it, Building 7. I don't know nothing about that. All I know right here is that this journalist was not a citizen of the U.S., and he was allegedly killed by Saudis who are in jail in Saudi that may face the death penalty. So what more can be done? If we do more, it's going to hurt us much more than it hurts them. So what do you think? Do you think that Trump should impose sanctions on Saudi Arabia due to this whole Khashoggi thing? And if you think that way, please explain to me why. I mean, why just because of him? Why not other people and other nations? Why not every country on planet Earth? Is the U.S. the world police? I mean, just because something bad happens in the country does not mean that it's our responsibility to jump into action and do what we think is right. Because, again, you got these people that were involved. They're in custody right now in Saudi Arabia. So what are we going to do? Say, oh, that ain't enough. We want to have sanctions on the whole country. For what? It doesn't make any sense. These people who are trying to push for this ain't nothing but warmongers or people that hate Trump or both. Either way, that's not what I'm into. I'm all about peace. And this particular route that Trump is going is the correct way, in my humble opinion. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.